Man, what's up, y'all? You know it's back juice, your favorite Jamaican. We back at it again. Sir. So last time I saw you guys was what, Memorial Day? Last Monday. It's been 7 days. We back at it. You know, it's weird. So far doing these lives, I haven't had a lot of people come in, but the few people that have come in and just the fact of just being on the live and expressing my viewpoints is definitely has a cathartic type of effect for me, man. Definitely enjoying doing this, being able to fully express myself. It's definitely different from going on a panel. Cause a lot of times you go on panels, you really can't, you kind of limited. So, yeah, as we normally do, let me get back into the groove of things because I'd made a schedule live here. And of course, it doesn't sync up with this live. So let me see. First thing I need to do, let me do this. Let me go on YouTube here. And yeah, y'all. Let me go on YouTube and let's get this link copy so I could share it for a few people here. Oh man, I didn't even send out my text blast or anything. It's all good though. Really, I'm kind of doing this live as more of a video format. I was actually thinking about doing a video because more than anything, this live tonight, as you can see by the title, it says men aren't incapable of love. Women are just unlovable creatures, right? Really and truly, I really intend for this live to be more for posterity. It's really targeted at young men, um, growing up in today's society. And I'm hoping I can impart some things that can kind of help young men and older men too kind of navigate this environment right now because things are a little tricky right now. Things are a little tricky. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not cognizant of exactly what's going on from a holistic standpoint, you could definitely become cynical as a guy in this environment. And cynicism as a man is not good. You know what I mean? So, first thing first, you go ahead and copy this link for the people. You go over here, go up in here. Yes, sir. So yeah, the first thing I wanted to do, man, in doing this live, I had a lot of consternation about doing this live because the title of the live and the topic is a tricky one because it's really hard to kind of broach a subject, especially in today's environment, without it coming off as you having this kind of frustrated energy or something. And I do know, pull up here, I do know like a common criticism of women when it comes to these type of topics is that a lot of the men who are making these sort of things, they're like frustrated with women, they're sexually repressed and all of this sort of stuff. And there's a lot of truth to that. A lot of the driving force behind this manosphere and red pill content is exasperation. A lot of it is coming from dudes who can't get sex, but that's not the case with me. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not going to sit up here on this YouTube and lie like I get the baddest in the world and you know what I'm saying? I'm just knocking down the prime the prime Kelly Rowlands and what's old girl off of Real Housewives that was a beauty queen? She one of the baddest women to me ever. Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore. Yeah, prime Kenya Moore. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous lady. People never talk about her too from a look standpoint, but point being is, and there's a lot to cover on this topic too, also because the topic is not so much about women. I definitely intended to be more comprehensive than that. All of the social factors, the economic factors, historical factors that go into what currently impacts the interaction between men and women in today's society. So I certainly don't want it to come off as this pylon session on women. I'm not that type of dude. And I'd like to communicate to the men who I'm intending for this message really to go out to tonight, to kind of have a perspective on exactly what's going on in society, having a real grasp of exactly what is going on and how women are operating in the society, but at the same time, knowing how to balance it out and keep your wits about you. You can't be walking around with angry energy and thinking that you're going to be able to, number one, procure any sex, or even beyond that, being able to build anything with a woman. That type of energy, you can't have angry energy, guys. But there are some things that need to be, addressed in a very pointed and direct manner. And I could give disclaimers until I'm blue in the face. You're gonna have that contingent or that contingency of people who are going to categorize this as the ravens or the rantings of some angry incel. That's just how the game goes, man. Anyway, we're gonna go into the program tonight. I took a whole week putting this thing together, and I think it's a pretty good program, man. I think y'all gonna enjoy it, really. And I think there's a lot to be gleaned from this. I think a lot of people are gonna learn a lot tonight, man. So, we're really gonna get into it. But as we normally do on the Peter Bag Juice program, I like to start it off with a musical selection, So I don't know what we got for the people today. What we listening to today. All right, guys, hold on. First off, let me share this screen. We're going to get into it. What we got for the people, Bag Juice. What did I want to pull first out? Oh, yeah. This classic T.I., man. You feel me? All them people, y'all don't know about no T.I., man. That first T.I. album, y'all don't know about that, man. Yeah, so let's talk to the people, T.I.
Yeah, to the ladies. One more message from T.I.P. I represent every man in America. Now, the world. You wanna know what he think about when he ain't talking to you about why he can't be your man? You sure you wanna know? Here it is. My girl say I don't love her. She say we just fucking. Nothing against you, just that I hate tucks. She wanna toast with the moon, the ice, throwing the right. Wake up with me for the rest of your life. Ask me where I'm going when I'm coming back. When I bounce, running the mouth. Call herself the queen of the south. Redecorate the crib, throwing satin on the couch. Catch me out adulterating, taking half of the house. Well, it ain't she don't deserve it, it's that I don't wanna give it. The life she wanna live, shout it, I don't wanna live. Making money short as me, making all sorts of digits. From Kiki's and Shanique to Bianca's and Bridges. Popping up unannounced, shout it, call for you visit. Nothing up by the number, mind your goddamn biz. Look, dick, some shit by tip won't change. We can hang, but I gotta let you know one thing. I can't be your man. It ain't you, it's me. I'm sorry, shawty. I can't be your man. Where I been? I don't see no rings on these fingers. I can't be your man. Look to the future, find somebody better than me. I can't be your man. You deserve much more. I'm no good for you, shawty. Don't it seem like shit be cool for a month and a half? All of a sudden you're frontin' and showing your ass, complaining about what you got. Shout it, look what you had. Before me it was pull out pouches and Benetton bags. Now she mad cause she ain't got a TV and a Jag. I tell you what, that ain't good enough, get back on the bus. Give her the princess cuts and the product stuff. I take you out to eat and you order the bottle of what? Ungrateful, wondering why I'm not faithful. Balling's all good, but this shit's just waste. Want me to pay your bills, help you get a bigger crib? Shout out, I don't mind helping, but show some initiative. Ain't brought nothing to the table but hard times and heartaches. Do something, get on your grind for God's sake. A reminder, rewind this message from behind. For those who chose to take my kindness for blind. I can't be your man. I don't cheat cause I ain't shit. I cheat cause you ain't shit. I can't be your man. Every time I I walk in the house, she sit on that goddamn couch. She ain't got nothing better to do. Cook, clean, iron, pay the water bill. Shout it, do something, work with. Hey, pack your shit, shout. I'm dropping your ass off at your mammy house, right? One more scenario about another jazz hoe that I met on the road after a show in Ontario. Shout to say she got a man, that don't really scare me though. But she say he got a too. So, but what he jealous for? Cause you told him you would cheat. Hell, but what you tell him for? Shit, what they got to do with Till? You better let him know. Now she wanna let him go. But what for? So you can get with me and keep being a slut hoe? I don't think so. Baby, better stay where you at. I'm no good for you. Never mind the weight of the ass. You got a kid in the crib with him. What's better than that? I'm in town for the week. You better settle for that. Cause I'm here for 4 days, shawty. 4 days. I can't train him. I can't be your man. He don't treat you right. What they gotta do with me? I can't be your man. He be cussing y'all shit. You cheated on him, shawty. Can't you blame him? I can't be your man. You ain't gonna bring that bullshit to me. I don't want none parts of it. I can't be your man. Look here, man. Get that shit out of my face. Kick rock. I can't be your man. I ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. There will be none of that around here. I can't be your man. Besides, shawty, you talk too much. I can't deal with it. I can't be your man. You say you work well? Make it dick. Get the hell out of here, shawty. Man, look, hey, I can't deal with it. You got too much baggage with you, man. You and little Opus Cunningham, y'all kick rocks down the damn street. I can't deal with it, shawty. Complain, what, you ain't got what? Shawty, what I meant to shawty, you were barefooted sitting on the railroad track with some straw in your mouth. What the hell you complaining about what you got now? What, nigga, you got steak and eggs right here. I'm saying what the business is. Get the hell out of here, man. Hey, man, you need to show me some appreciation right here. You're in the damn living room more than the motherfucking furniture, shawty. I can't deal with that shit, man. Get a damn job. Do something for me. Lazy bitch. All the bad bitches in the world, and I had to hook up with the Cyrus hoe in America. Why don't you take the weight off my back every now and then? Why don't you pay a bill? $30 damn. The cable bill ain't but $30 damn, shawty. Why don't you flip the mattress and wash the clothes, change the light bulb? God damn, shawty. I got everything around this some bitch. A lazy bitch ain't nothing worse than a lazy bitch, shawty. Wasted time.
Was it the liquor that makes me act blind? Times that I'm with her, anonymous pictures of other niggas trying to kiss her. Will I love her or shall I diss her? I'm sick of the scandalous shit I deal with, trying to paint a perfect picture. My memories of jealousy no longer carefree, cause so much bullshit your girlfriends keep telling me. I'm on tour, but now my bedroom's an open door. So it got me thinking, what am I trying for? When I was young, I was so very dumb, eager to please. A little trick on a mission, trying to get him a piece. Me and my niggas are stub niggas, forming known drug dealers. We don't love bitches and believe they don't love niggas. I gotta blame my attraction, but you became a distraction, a threat to my paper stacking. I thought you changed, but now I know. Can't turn a hoe into a housewife, baby. There you go. Trusted you from the jump. You disgust me so much. You made me look like Willie Lump. With your ready-made plans, did you shake your man yet? Let you resell them? Did you tell him how I make you wet? I can't forget when we met, conservative but freaky, irresistible, critical, positive but sneaky. It's a shame we played games so many nights. You squeezed me tight, but in my mind I knew it wasn't right. But out of sight is out of mind is how I thought of you. I can't compare with no sentimental value. Yo nigga wig if he knew the things you done to me. His little sweetie scooped up so easily, but never me. But I was lost in the things you did. How did my six telling me how much you wanted my kids? But love don't love nobody, feelings change. Guess you had to rearrange, and there you go.
There you go.
Got this game twisted, so I ain't really tryna claim bitches. Niggas
What's on your body for me to touch while you clutch this game? I keep flowing like H2O, it ain't nothing for me to say while you keep acting like a hoe. But there you go.
There you go, like a hoe again. There you go, there you go. There you go, like a hoe again. There you go, there you go. There you go, like a hoe again. There you go, there you go. There you go, like a hoe again. There you go, there you go. There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One Tupac Amaru Shakur. Yeah. So, speaking to the title of the video tonight, women aren't lovable. No one should take that as an indictment against women. And when I say women aren't lovable, it's strictly in the confines of a romantic relationship. Right now, the whole love concept, when it comes to romance, is a brand new concept. It's probably about 100 years old or so. Prior to that, when men and women came together, the world over, no matter where you went, what country, what time, for the most part, it was a matter of practicality. Right now, that doesn't mean that a man wouldn't be attracted to a woman or a woman not be attracted to a man, but this concept of love sort of driving the relationship, that's a brand new thing. And you see it kind of represented in things like Disney movies and those sort of things. That's really and truly in real life, it's not a sustainable thing. That sort of romantic, dreamy, I'm in love type of thing. That's not real life. You're not going to go 10, 20, 30 years with that, right? What's sustainable is two people's fidelity, to an ideal or a principle, right? That's what sustains men-women relationships and allows men and women to come together and build, and a sense of duty to community, those sort of things. Oftentimes the thing that we call love is really attachment anyway. And the type of thing that, most people would term as love is something that comes with time. It comes over time, right? Now, I wanted to play a quick video here. I'm going to get into a video here by Patrice O'Neal, a deceased comedian and patron saint of men all around the world. This guy is virtually a Jesus figure for men, man, in my opinion. A fat prophet. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into that video. Trying to see if there was anything I wanted to expound on before I started playing that video, though. All right, I think we'll jump right into this video, guys. Let's see what Patrice has to say insofar as the lovability of women. It should be funny. What you got for the people, Patrice? Make sure I got this thing queued up.
This is a man in love. Here's the face of a man in love. And the face of a woman in love is like, yay, yay, I'm in love. But the face of a man in like is like, yeah, man, I like her. And women are like, where's this going? Why does it have to go somewhere? It's just cool right now. Like, here's the best relationship in the world is when the woman loves you and the man likes her. So if I like you and you love me, that's perfection. Because I like is like that's when he's happy to see you and happy to hear you and you doing things that don't disrespect the happen. You lie about liking sports and you do all kind of things. I know that sounds like ridiculous, but I'll put it in vaginal terms for you. Because I see the faces like, huh? And then guys go, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, but guys do. I speak fluent dude, man. I understand how we are. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, ladies, how many times has there been a guy in your life, or where there's been men in your life who want to sleep with you, but you didn't want to sleep with him? Zillions, you can't count it. So, what that means, there's a philosophy there, meaning you are sexable. He wants to sleep with you, but just because you are sexable don't mean I'm sexable, right? Same thing with love. Just because I'm lovable doesn't mean that you're lovable too. You're just likable to me.
Classic, man. Yeah, that's facts, man. So, that whole thing about being lovable and charming and funny and witty and all that sort of stuff, you know, women will encounter men who have really dynamic personalities that really draw them in and enchant them and entrance them. And they're just reacting to the stimuli, right? They don't know that that's something that that man developed over time. Like, see, because unfortunately for women, and Patrice used to say this all the time too, like, unfortunately for women, what a man most values in a woman initially is her beauty and her youth, her looks, right? Now I know there's a bunch of dudes out there who want to act like they're so deep and all of this. Whatever, dude. I'm just giving it to y'all blood raw. Now, unfortunately, like even if a woman has a really, really developed personality, men for the most part, they don't value that, not nearly as much as how women do. So you know how they say necessity is the mother of invention? What makes men, have more dynamic personalities and be funny and charming and all the rest of it is out of necessity, right? Because for a woman, you're born the fact that you just listen, just having a vagina and not looking like a goddamn, I don't know, a gorilla or something. That alone, you know, you don't need to do much work to get a man. Right now, for men, unless you're, this outlier of outliers type of dude where you was dunking a basketball in the fifth grade and you had a beard at 12 and you know what I'm saying? If you're not that dude, that mutant type of dude, you're gonna have to do some things really to get female attention, whether it's the way you dress, your wittiness, your charm, you're funny, you could sing, um, you're proficient in sports, you know what I mean? Most of the times you're gonna have to actually do something. And because of that necessity, of course, it forces men to really develop themselves. So, I want to give women that mulligan that, they don't that necessity isn't there for them. So that side of a woman, for the most part, never really gets developed like that. Right. And yeah, it's unfortunate that it works out that way. That's the thing about life. There are a lot of things in life when you really sit and think about it, you say, man, it shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. It just is what it is. Um, let's see here. And the other thing too, speaking of which, of men needing to kind of have these, if you're not like I said, like an outlier in the looks department or physique, or you're really talented at playing an instrument, or you can sing, or you're great at sports, or that sort of thing. Um, is that women are natural stimuli addicts, right? Women are addicted to stimuli, particularly modern women, right? They get bored very, very easily. And as a guy, it forces you again to really develop, every aspect of yourself. And I think a lot of men are missing that nowadays too, particularly in these discussions that I see online, where men are saying, "Oh, I make 100,000, I make 150,000, I make 200,000. Why aren't the women that's bowing down at my feet?" And well, listen, money matters, and women love money. They like the things money can buy and the lifestyle it can provide and the security and all the rest of it. But just in and of itself, by itself, it's not enough. There basically there are infinite parts of yourself that you can develop as a man that women will find intriguing far beyond just money or being able to provide them a lifestyle. Right. So that's the thing with a man. The part of being a man is throughout throughout your entire lifetime, you're supposed to be building in all aspects, improving in all aspects, financially, being steady of mind, being disciplined, being constant, all of those things, developing a charming personality, being witty, being worldly, gaining experiences that you can share, you can teach, you can impart wisdom, all of those things, those are lifelong efforts. And I'm not going to say that women don't, aren't to develop those, but really, there's really no real pressure on women to do that. Men of this society really don't put any sort of pressure on women like that. Basically, just have a vagina. That's pretty much it for the majority of men. Um, so yeah, funny video about Patrice there. Now, I wanted to hit on another point, speaking towards the old lovability thing, and as I'd said earlier, that previously, prior to the industrial age, which is about a little over 100 years ago, this whole concept of love being a driving force of relationships is brand new. Um, you know, Prior to that, um, of course, prior to industrialization, right? Whether you were in an agrarian society, a hunter-gatherer society, basically a society where physical labor was basically the linchpin of the society, right? Um, in a situation like that, women are going to naturally get marginalized, right? It's just a function of physical reality. If your daily bread is dependent upon you, let's say tilling the farm or something, right? If the husband goes out and plants and hunts or whatever the case may be, the household is going to need to be taken care of, right? The children are going to need to be reared. Um, if you don't have technology like washing machine, dishwashers, computers where a woman can go to a job and sit at a desk and make as much or the same as a man working at an oil field, without that sort of technology and that sort of infrastructure in place where everything is pretty much dependent upon a human being's physical output, in a scenario like that, women, for the most part, are going to be relegated to domestic type of duty. And that was the setup going back early in American history. Most of what I'm going to be speaking about tonight is going to be dealing with American history. It's not American history, excuse me. Dealing with America, American society, the men and women who live in it. So yeah, the technology wasn't around. So for the most part, that's what women did. They took care of the home, took care of the children. The men went out there, they produced, they worked, they labored, they brought the proceeds home, and that's how it worked. Now, with the turn of the industrial age and other factors, that changed, right? That being said, I want to get into another video here by what's his name, Sean Connery, speaking about the camaraderie that he feels with other men and why he doesn't necessarily want to have that sort of dynamic with a woman. In this case, he was talking about his wife
Does
in
the friendship
particular,
mean a
right?
lot? Friendship of men?
Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's one of the pleasures of golf as well. I'm not mad. I don't like playing golf with women, no matter how good they are. I really don't.
Your wife plays golf.
She's a very good golfer, yeah.
You
But
don't
I
like to play with
very
her?
often with her, no.
Why not?
Because I don't like playing golf with women.
Why not?
I like the company of men better at golf.
Why?
It's very difficult to explain. It's just it's more pleasurable playing golf with men than women.
Years ago, you did an interview, which may come back to haunt you. You know what I'm going to say, right?
No?
Okay. You did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
Hey, see, this is one of the benefits, man. People talk about white privilege. Now, this isn't a privilege that I necessarily want as a man, but it's a privilege nonetheless, man. When it comes to white males in the society, when you're the principal in the society, when you're the top dog in the society, you could talk like this with all confidence, because really, for the most part, nobody can touch you. It's similar to a thing with Donald Trump years ago when he said about grabbing a woman by her crotch, right? And basically that he'd be entitled to do that because he's rich. And once you're rich, you can just walk up to a random woman and just grab her by the crotch. He called it the P word. And, to my surprise, at the polls, more white women voted for Trump than voted for Hillary Clinton, despite him saying that, right? You know why? It's about power. And that's what we're going to really get into tonight. That's one of the main things I want to get across to young men. That's the main message I want to deliver, right? Because in recent times, what's been represented in media, at school, et cetera, is this idea that women have this kind of moral high ground. They're not as power hungry as men are, and they're the fairer sex, and they're caring and congenial and angelic. And, I think a lot of what I'm going to present tonight is going to dispel that. No, women are just as animalistic as men and just as power driven. The difference is, as a man, because of our superior physicality, we can more impose our will on the physical environment to procure that power that we want, right? Whereas with a woman, she can't go that route. She has to go about it in much more indirect means, right? Because she doesn't have the physicality to match up to men. But make no mistake, women are as much power driven as men. They're just as animalistic, just as primal as men. Now, just like a man, through refined thought, any human can kind of ascend beyond that just primal kind of base instinct level, right? And that's what I forgot who the white philosopher was that came up with the guy who came up with the whole thing about being self-actualized and all of that sort of stuff, right? That comes from refined thought, having the basic necessities of life secured, your food, clothing, and shelter, and all of that sort of stuff. And then the human can sort of develop or refine their way beyond just the primal and base type of instincts. But make no mistake, women are just as savage as men. It's just in a different form.
I think it's bad.
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have.
What would merit it?
Yeah, I'm going to fast forward. I played that on a previous live before where he basically was speaking about, women being provocative and him feeling as if that, when pushed to a certain limit, a man would have the right to slap a woman. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think there's anything a woman could verbally say to me that would make me want to slap her. Outside of a physical threat, I wouldn't put my hands on a woman. But the point that he was speaking to is a lot of women know that, right? And they play on that. They know that basically men aren't supposed to hit women or won't hit women, and they don't respect. So in the same way that a man would respect a woman's, I guess, tenderness, and for that reason, knowing that because of his strength and that sort of thing, that he's not going to put his hands on a woman because of that. That's a respect for who a woman is intrinsically. But oftentimes, particularly in modern society, women don't have that same level of respect isn't reciprocated, right? So meaning that a woman won't look at a man and say, you know what, I know this motherfucker could whoop my ass, right? So I'm not gonna cross certain lines. Like once he says, hey, you win the argument, you got it, that's it, leave it alone. I'm gonna respect him and leave it alone. A lot of women will keep egging the situation on, knowing that they have that societal protection and that's social protection, right? Where a man says to himself, I can't hit a woman, and they'll take advantage of that, and really, really be provocative and those sort of things. He was basically saying for those women who keep pushing and keep pushing and keep antagonizing that, he believes that it is fair and it is just for a man at that point to slap a woman, basically to slap some act right into her. Um, I don't agree with that. I don't. Anyway,
Well, she takes me to the wire. She's she's a lot of interests and things. She's and totally absorbed with me. And we have enough separations that we've been doing some things all the time, so we come back together, there's always something to talk about. I couldn't be with the same person all day, every day. It would bore me to tears.
Do you believe in fidelity?
Do I believe in fidelity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in fidelity, yeah.
that nigga lying. Lying like a mug. First off, when somebody repeats a question back to you, they're buying time to think, and then he did a look off to the right thing. If anybody's familiar with like FBI interrogation, that sort of thing, this man just told a bold-faced lie. He don't believe in no fidelity. He was really living out that James Bond stuff, man. You know what I mean? He lied like a mug, man. We know you was a player, Sean. Stop it.
Your wife is totally absorbed in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you totally absorbed in your wife?
As much as I can be, yeah. But as I say, I have to go. For example, if I go to make a film, she doesn't come with me the first week.
Mm-hmm.
I can come and go and do exactly what I need to do to get it right for me. And she understands that. And so she has sufficient interest in things herself anyway, not to need to be sitting there.
Right. I like the PC answer that he gave when Barbara asked if he's also totally wrapped up in his woman too, right? The answer he really wanted to give is no, because it doesn't make any sense, right? For there to be any sort of polarity in a relationship. And that's the issue with modern women. Barbara Walters is like the matriarch of the modern woman, right? She was at the those initial stages of feminism, and that's a key thing that you will see with women today when they juxtapose themselves to men, this tit for tat thing. Well, if you can do this, then I should be able to do this. And if you can do that, then I can do. No, doesn't work that way. And it goes both ways. There are things that a woman can do that a man can't do. One of the things I believe is something like crying in public. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's right off top, right? Now, there are women who will tell you there's nothing wrong with a man crying and you can be vulnerable and blah, 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 blah. Listen, a lot of those women speak and they don't know themselves, right? They'll say that because what it is with women, they're very aspirational when it comes to morality, right? Women have been conditioned and programmed to think that they are the more moral of the two sexes, and they aspire to be these, these angelic, moralistic beings. So they like to think that they'd want a man who cries in public and that sort of thing. But you can't cheat or you can't trick your biology. There's a natural recoil that a woman has from a grown ass man just boohooing. Literally nature, right? I'm not gonna nerd out on y'all completely because I could go really deep into it and get into the biochemistry and all that. But we're not gonna do that. That's bad radio. But one thing young men need to realize, man, for the most part, women don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They really don't. They don't. Oh man, how can I put this gently? Listen, if you have, when it comes to curricular, I knew I was gonna mess that word up. Curricularized information, right? So like schooling, things where you have a curriculum where women can pretty much follow, a plan, and I dare say that, oftentimes they'll equal and a lot of times exceed men. But when it comes to innovation, creating new ways of thought, things like that, women, listen, young guys out there and other men listening, you got to understand a lot of this frustration that you having with women, and you really don't need to have it because for the most part, they just don't know, bruh. Women are natural. They're predisposed to goofiness. They're natural, goofy people, right? That's why they make those songs. Girls just want to have fun, and it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. They're, again, going to the biochemistry thing. There are biochemical, factors that go into that. But women are goofy people. They just are. Like, look at this lady, Barbara Walters, right? She's sitting there. In her mind, she really thinks like she's pressing this guy, right? Oh, you remember what you said in that interview? And, she's puffing up her chest like she don't even realize that dude not taking you serious, man. He's doing a tit for tat thing. Well, are you absorbed in her? No, he's not absorbed in her. The woman's supposed to be absorbed in the man. The man ain't supposed to be absorbed in the woman. You know what happens when a man is absorbed in a woman? She gets bored. She gets disgusted. That's how it works. That's why when Patrice said the perfect dynamic for a relationship is one where a man likes a woman and that woman loves him. A woman is supposed to be all starry-eyed and, oh my God, my man, and right? A woman is supposed to be fanned out about her man. A man ain't supposed to be fanned out behind a woman. If you fanned out behind your woman, okay, you're not a man. Right? And I know that's another thing I wanted to speak to, how manhood is defined in modern day society. All of it has to do with utility. How he takes care of his children, what he does for a woman, how he provides, how he protects, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And that is absolutely a part of it. But, I think what a lot of men aren't getting nourished in is where's a part of manhood that serves that man, that's just for him, right? That gets completely neglected. Like in modern day society, you're basically told as a man, you're basically here to be basically a workhorse, a mule. And that's what manhood is. Nah, I strenuously object to that. But let's get through this interview.
I swore when I was preparing the questions for this interview that I would not use the phrase male chauvinist. But you are a male chauvinist, aren't you?
And what is a male chauvinist?
Well, it's a guy who it's that sort of macho, women are kind of nice as long as they're not too much around and a good whack. And
I never
Fanny
said
never
that. I never said
oh,
that.
you said you don't mind giving him a little whack.
No, no, no.
If
You're
it's
lifting it
allowed.
right out of
Okay,
context.
then you tell me. So we
No,
have it
you
straight.
tell me what you. I don't profess to be macho. I don't profess to walk around smacking her. I never smacked my wife.
It's the
I'm
attitude.
saying
It's the attitude.
the attitude. Oh, you mean I should? My attitude should be different when I'm
No,
talking
I mean,
about
it's
women.
okay.
Oh,
But
what
it's
do you
just,
mean?
well,
I don't like playing golf with women. That's a crime. I don't go and insist playing with them. So why should they come insist playing with me? Also, in the golf club, when there's a room for men only, I think it's terrific. And why would they want to go in if they're not wanted there? Eh? Now, I suppose I could go and say, well, where's the ladies' club here? I must go and get some games of these wonderful 36 handicappers. And, you know what I mean?
equal time,
Coming up with
equal
a-
rights.
Yeah.
Hey, any of y'all had little sisters, man, or little cousins or whatever? Tell me, then the girls, when you were kids, always want to be around the boys, always want to be playing a video game or running wild and stuff like that. Like, listen, we're just cooler than women. I would have said, like, we're just cooler people. We're cooler humans, right? So a dude isn't going to be mulling around what women doing and trying to get into this space. It's not no dude who's like not a flamboyant type of dude, right? You know who I'm talking about, them flamboyant dudes, right? The LMNOP community. If you're not one of them type of dudes, you're not trying to hover around women and, you know what I'm saying, have sipping paints and nigga ain't no nigga trying to. Listen, man, the only dude trying to do no goddamn sipping paint is a dude that's trying to get in position to get some damn hole. If it ain't that, it's a flamboyant dude, right? So,
How do you feel about the Equal Rights Amendment? Do you know that the amendment we're trying to have passed in our country?
Well, I think it's unequal rights now with the women. I think they've got everything going for
You
them.
do, huh?
It gets into. I think that you should get paid if you do the equal job. Yeah, I know I work harder and earn more money to make things happen, which has been my role since I can remember. And if the guy is going to be the one that's got to go out and do the work to feed everybody so that they can have the kids or go to school or have a car or whatever, then they have to give him a primary consideration. No? Now, there are some exchange in the
Yeah, you
roles
know-
where the wife says, okay, I'm going to work and you can do the cooking and bring up the kids. Well, if some men are suited for that, I think it's terrific. I don't think I'd be very good at that.
I don't think you'd be very good at that either.
Then it's better I should do something I'm good at. Then she would be happy too, no?
What about both working and both helping at the house and both helping with the kids?
Well, that happens in part.
Do you respect a woman's opinion as much as a man's?
But of course.
Okay.
Of course, why wouldn't I?
All right.
But you know, there are stupid women, eh?
And there are
stupid men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
We haven't cornered the market on all our faults, eh?
we've been talking somewhat seriously, but somewhat teasingly too. Do you mind when someone says you're a male chauvinist? You've heard it before.
I don't mind, honestly. No.
Sean, what do you think is the biggest fault, in your opinion, that a person can have?
The biggest fault?
Yeah.
You mean other than being a chauvinist
Other
pig?
than being a chauvinist pig. Yeah. Pig is a word I didn't use.
Stupid. I hate stupidity more than anything.
Finish this for me. Sean Connery is.
Almost a male chauvinist pig.
yeah, man. So, I want to speak to another aspect of the male-female dynamic from a more holistic standpoint, right? Insofar as the factors of economics that affect the interaction between men and women, particularly in the romantic arena, right? Before we go into that, though, let me have a quick check of the chat to see if anybody pulled up. If not, we're going to get right back into it. By the way, lovely people, how y'all feeling out there, man? How y'all feeling out there, man? Tika, what it do? What up? What up? What up? What up, playmakers? What it do? I'm not a I'm not a man because I'm fanned out by Oprah. She got a hold of me like Pook. You say, God damn it. Oh man. So you on that gigolo shit, Ted? You know that's an old joke that dudes been saying that they wanna that they'd get with Oprah. They basically, you know what I'm saying, be a gigolo or whatever for Oprah. Man, look, man, that job, it sounds good until you got to actually do it. Cause you think them women with that money, you think you just finna lay up. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You think you just finna just drop some lazy sex on that woman and you gonna be driving Ferraris and skiing in Aspen. Nope. Nope. That's not how that's gonna work. See, fantasy is always better than reality, bro. Reality could never compete with fantasy because you think that's how that's gonna go. No, bro. If you with Oprah, all right, 65-year-old Oprah, listen, man, you gonna be munching that box, bro. And don't think you just gonna nibble around the edges either. Okay? She gonna do it like this one chick told me one time, when she wanted me to do that. And I told her I don't, I don't get down like that. She said, "Oh, you got to get up in there and eat it like a mango." That's what Oprah gonna do to you. Are you ready to eat 60-year-old, 60-year-old crotch to really get up in there so you can live that gigolo lifestyle? I don't think you want that, bro. All right, what Tika talking about? I believe most men like variety. I mean, really, I've never met a man that doesn't. Although I know a few men that have been so-called tame. Yeah, no, that's a fact, Tika. But I do want to say this to be fair to women. Like, we're not all deserving of variety. Like, number one, to be if you're going to be dealing with multiple women like that, you do need to have a different level of financial viability. Because anytime you're engaging in sexual acts with women, the potential of reproduction is always there. And you as a man need to be in a position to where if that woman is pregnant, incapacitated, whatever, you can literally carry the entire family by yourself. And that's what makes the dynamic tricky because men aren't naturally monogamous, but not every man is deserving of even one woman, let alone multiple, right? Now, that leads me right into the point that I was going to make about the economics and how it impacts the dynamic between men and women. Because if you go back even prior to the industrial age or right at the onset of the industrial age, a man could work at the factory and literally support himself, his wife, and 4 children. In today's dynamic, because of how inflation has been built in, it's been baked into the cake, right, of the American economic system. When the banks basically took over in around the 1930s or so, the economic reality, excuse me, is that for the most part, if you're a man and you're with a woman and you guys want to live a certain lifestyle, buy a house, that sort of thing, you're going to need for your woman to work. And that's the reality for 95% of us as men, or it probably could say 90%, right? So that thing throws the dynamic off itself because even if a woman wanted to be that dutiful housewife, the economic factors kind of prohibit that, right? So I think more than how women are in the society, the political and economic factors are more impactful than anything that a particular woman does in society. Right? Let me consult my notes here right quick. See where next I want to go with this. We're gonna be, it's funny. We're gonna be reviewing a video by a content creator named Princella the Queen Maker. She's a woman who, I guess she denies being a lesbian, but she says from this point forward, she's no longer going to be dealing with men in a romantic aspect. It will be strictly women. So technically, she is a lesbian. Now, the thing is, she has a daughter and she was married to a man. And prior to recently, she had been dealing exclusively with men. So later in the show, we're going to be reviewing a video by her, which I think is just, for me, it's absolutely hilarious seeing a woman basically, starting to or learning to deal with women for the first time, because she's one of those people who posits this idea that women are this mother goddess and women are so ethereal and spiritual and mother goddess and love and blah 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 and all the rest of it. And she teaches that men are incapable of love, and women are literally the physical embodiment of love, right? Divine love at that. So these high-minded ideals that she has about womankind, watching those things get crumbled by her actual real world practical interactions with women, and watching her go through the torture, the mental torture of realizing that her dreamy ideas aren't quite reality, is hilarious. And the things that I see her expressing in that video that I'm going to be reviewing, all of my players out there will be able to recognize and say, "Yup, I've been through that." You know what I'm saying? So that's a hilarious video, man. But let me see. What other talking points did I want to touch on, right? So we played a Sean Connery clip. We played a Patrice O'Neal clip. Oh, I know where I want to go next. Insofar as how women relate to men in this society, right? Now, here's the thing. Speaking to the moral high ground that women also have. The average woman, they won't tell you this straight up, but they do believe that they're much more intrinsically or innately intelligent than the average man. They believe they're more mature and all the rest of it. And the way how the modern woman relates to men, particularly in the Black society, I want to stress that point, is this idea of being a man's steward or mentor, right? It's kind of been impressed upon them that men are kind of naturally inept, incapable of multitasking. We're these big lumbering brutes who aren't that bright. We just go ooga booga and beat our chest, and. So a lot of women don't even know how, even if they wanted to be submissive to a man, they have no clue. They don't even know what that is. Right? You will have a woman who will be with a man. She works a job making $40,000 a year, gets with a man who is a millionaire, and she doesn't know how to fit into that man's life because she knows really only one way to relate to a man. And that is basically to be a matron, a guide, a mentor, a steward. And it's one of the things I noticed with women who I've dated myself, that they don't even realize that they're doing it. That's the other thing too. In my experience in sharing notes with other men and reading and all that sort of stuff, I'm of the thought that women just are naturally not very self-aware people. They're just not, the self-awareness isn't there in a high degree. So I'm gonna play a video that speaks to that, and then I'm gonna give some more commentary, man. Yeah, and it's gonna be coming from an unlikely source, man. Our brother Boo said, "Boo, out that boot." You hear me? Out that boot, that Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Yes, sir. What you talking about, Boosie? Hold on. Go to my playlist here. My dog Boosie got to say on the subject, man. Boosie a funny ass dude, bro. Boo said, "Boo, talk to him."
I dated a woman a couple years. Well, not dated. I ain't dated.
Fuck it.
Yeah, and I ain't really like it. I don't like no bitch trying to tell me tell me what the bitch trying to give me game all day. Bitch, look where I'm at and look where you at. don't mean no motherfucking harm, bitch. Real shit, bitch. I'm straight. Bitch, you trying to teach me? You got me fucked up. You got me thinking I'm doing something. Bitch, this shit looks straight round here. Yeah, bitch, you in a 1-bedroom out. 2-bedroom out. Yeah, regular 9 to 5, bitch, and you drilling me. About my friends.
What were they trying to tell you?
Nothing, bro, just all kind of grown shit.
It's like grown shit. Yo, hey, bro, I swear to God, bro. Bro, I was dating a woman around my age. Actually, let me see. No, she was older than me. Yeah, this light-skinned Jamaican chick. See, it's a lot of factors too, because them mulatto, light-skinned Jamaican types, they already come from an echelon in society where they feel they're better than everybody to begin with, right? So oftentimes she say things to me as if she would basically to say that I should be glad that I'm with her. Right. I think oftentimes she wasn't even aware that she was saying this crap to me, but she would do that sort of stuff all the time. Like I remember one time we were walking and she said to me, she said, Peter, do you ever think that perhaps I was put in your life to like show you the way or some shit she said? And I'm just looking at her like, you don't even know how patronizing that is as a man. Like, listen, man, there's plenty listen, there are instances where I've had where women told me things, ex-girlfriends told me things, and I should have listened. So don't get this mixed up. Don't think that I'm kind of saying that, men are all knowing and women don't have any wisdom to impart or whatever. But, there's a delicate see, again, going back to the primal nature of man and woman, right? See, as a man, you're taught what a woman is about. You have to know who a woman is, as far as her inclinations, her nature, and that sort of thing. These are things that we learn and refine from a young age. Most often in society, that's not the same for women. Women, for the most part, really don't know shit about men. And a lot of times, even if they do, they don't give a damn. They really look at it as men kind of have this sort of, we're kind of intrinsically dysfunctional, and it's their role as a woman to sort of kind of guide and mold, when really it should be the opposite way around. So there's a way that a woman using her feminine wiles can kind of, I don't want to use the word guide or mold, right? Because that's not the relationship that a man is supposed to, that a woman is supposed to have to a man. But there's a way that she can wield influence, but it's in a feminine, passive way. There's really it isn't such an easy thing to really explain like that. But I think for the aware men out there and the women, they get what I'm getting at, right? There's a way that you go about things, and you don't say to somebody who's supposed to be your man that you have it that your role in his life is to be sort of like this life coach, this mentor. Like, I don't even think women have an appreciation or, again, the self-awareness to realize just how incredibly paternalistic and patronizing that is for a man. Because most of the times you guys are so goofy, and we witness so much of your goofy behavior, your unsureness about everything, your indecisiveness about things, and we're really looking at you like you have it in your mind that you're to be my steward. You Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny when he said that, man. He said grown stuff. That's telling you a bunch of grown stuff, right? Women be online with all these quotes and shit like they Confucius, man. Knock it off, man. Knock it off. Like, for the most part, a lot of these women nowadays, really, they talk too much. They don't understand the concept of less is more. Like, be quiet. I don't really want to hear your mouth like that. They trying to impart wisdom and It's crazy, man. Boo, talk to him.
I'm trying to win no grown shit. I'm already grown. Look, you trying to tell me how to live my motherfucking life. Felt like she was trying to be my mama. Man, no, bitch. Been over.
That nigga Boots is stupid. Nigga said- nigga said- nigga said- that nigga stupid, dog. Nigga said bend over. Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. A lot of times we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it, man, at all. It's just reality. And a lot of these men, they don't have the leverage that Boosie has. See, Boosie has a lot of leverage because of his status, his celebrity, and his wealth. So because he has options and that sort of thing, he can be way more candid than your average guy. Like your average goofball that works a $60,000 job per year and is in a marriage, he can't talk like that. He ain't got the leverage to. You know what I mean? That woman could divorce him and completely wreck his life. So women don't get this, man, because they'll talk to men in regular society and they'll say, man, but the men who I talk to, they don't, no, they're not going to say that because for one, most of them, they're not in the position to. And number two, a lot of them are just straight up cowards. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, man, I'm telling you, think about a young boy once you hit 13, like for those of you who are single mother raised like me, bro, tell the truth, bro. Once you hit 13 and puberty kicked in, 14, and you started feeling your strength, man, you weren't trying to hear that shit from your mama like that, man. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's right or wrong or if it should be that way or I'm just talking about what is, right? And I want the young men, I really want to drive this point home, man. You see that intrinsic thing inside of you that says, man, I want this, or man, go with that, man. Don't never let society or nobody tell you that you have some sort of defect or dysfunction, right? When a young man reaches a certain age or a young boy reaches a certain age, you're not trying to really hear from your mama like that, man. Cause you start to look at her like, man, you weak. I love you. You feel me? I die behind you. You my mama. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not really trying to hear that like that. You feel me? Still love and respect you though. But Boo a fool, man. Boo said bend over. With the Cougars.
Yeah, bro. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I like a thrill of it sometime. Like, but nah, I'm kind of done with that. I don't like no bitch talking. Bitch, I do all the talking. Yeah, when a girl around me, I talk her fucking head off. I don't need no bitch telling me, hey, you look before you made that turn. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Ooh, you drive bad. Bitch, lay back. Yeah, this bitch always talking, I drive, we get driving. Bitch talking about I'm driving too fast. Bitch, sit down.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, man. The arrogance of the modern woman, man. And again, the main thing about the arrogance of women these days, their complete lack of self-awareness in regards to that arrogance. Like me, I know I have an ego. I have an ego. I wouldn't say I have an ego issue, but I definitely do have an ego. Every human being has an ego. I can definitely be arrogant at times, for sure. But it's very different when you are aware of it, right? Because you can, when you're aware of something, then you can take the steps necessary to kind of refine your behavior. Oftentimes with women, they just have no sort of, they're completely oblivious to who they are. It's really something amazing to witness. Nah, Tegan. For fact, 13 is definitely not grown. Definitely not. But I'm telling you, from a male perspective, when a male hits 13 and that testosterone starts kicking in, you start looking at your mama like, man, I'm not listening to you, man. Like, what is he talking about, man? Like, you feel me? So Tika, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just telling you that that's just what it is. It's a nature thing, you know. Okay, you said now that's patronizing. Oh, when she said, were you referring to her saying that she was, if I've ever thought that she was put in my life to sort of be my life coach or guide or whatever? Yeah, that was extremely patronizing. I want to use another example too from an interaction that I've had with another woman recently, right? Speaking to like the lack of the obliviousness from women. Um, Now, I kind of had a little consternation about using this because this is a person that I liked and respected. I went to high school with her. I hadn't talked to her in a year, in decades, really. And we had exchanged numbers about 5, 6 years ago. And recently I was sending out some text blasts for my show. And she asked, who was it? Who is this? And I told her, hey, this is such and such from high school. She's like, oh, man, a couple years ago when I saw you, I gave you my number. You never called me. So I didn't think you had my number, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, um, we were conversing a bit via text, and she was telling me that she was a psychologist, which immediately intrigued me because about a week prior, I'd done a show about basically 95% of therapy being BS. And I was really, really interested to hear what her viewpoint was on the show and, the sort of things that I talk about in general. And I thought it would have been really, really interesting, but it's so funny. I'm going to share an exchange that we had where uh, it's just amazing, man. It's amazing. So let me see if I could find it here. I'm not going to share the screen because I don't want anyone to know who this young lady is. So after I prompted her to listen to my show about therapy, she texted me one day saying, I only listened to about 30 minutes of the show. She asked, when were you in the army? So now me playfully, I say, you trying to psychoanalyze me, homegirl? I said her name. I said, you trying to psychoanalyze me, Jennifer? And then right after that, I put the years that I was in the army, pretty much just to show her like, hey, I'm not deflecting, I'm not trying to avoid the question. I'm being playful, but I'm answering your question. To which I guess she immediately took a little bit of offense. She says, here we go. This is why I don't like telling people what I do for a living. The assumption is made that every word I hear or read is analyzed, right? So now me trying to diffuse a situation and offer an olive branch. I say, hey, don't mind me. I was being snarky. Sometimes I play too much. Here she go. Yes, obviously, you got in trouble a lot because of that. Then she says, my high school and the army. And then she says, yep. Right. So, which what she said wasn't necessarily untrue. And that's what I said to her. I said, that's a bit paternalistic on your part, but true nonetheless. Right. So then she replies, obviously, I believe in mental health therapy. In regards to men crying in public, I don't look at it from a gender lens. I think that regardless of sex, it's important to look at the why. No one should cry in public just for attention or pity, which is what I think Tyrese was doing. I'm not opposed to people crying in public. I'm opposed to attention-seeking behavior. The reason why you were not organized prior to the army is important, in my opinion. Yes, you overcame it by the method that they use, but the why is still important to me. But allowing you to express it, connect the dots, and possibly heal from past wounds and hurt are important to me. Now, you tell me, people, that last bit right there, that isn't therapist talk? That isn't psychoanalysis? This is a woman who had just literally 2 minutes prior strenuously objected to me saying that she was trying to psychoanalyze me. And then 2 minutes later, psychoanalyzes me. right? She's literally trying to help me with my life, completely lacking in self-awareness. Right? I didn't take great offense to it. I just thought it was funny. And it really speaks to my point. You know, shout out to her though, man. Shout out to her, man. She was a good friend when I was in high school. We always used to ride the bus together, and it's weird. I hold those moments near and dear to my heart. But anyway, we gonna move on with the show. So we was just looking at listening to Boosie, man, speaking about women trying to be mentors. That's the other thing too. Again, like that's the lack of awareness, and not just a lack of awareness, a lack of grooming and teaching women, and the lack of respect for male nature, right? Because there are ways to go about that, but there's just a way you approach it. You don't do it. Women don't know how to use any sort of finesse and delicacy insofar as trying to I guess impact or have an influence on male behavior. It's always done in a very paternalistic type of way, and they're completely unaware of it. It's just amazing. It's amazing to watch, man. So, I wanted to speak on the whole thing about power and how this idea that it's only males for the most part that are power hungry and power driven. Um, let's see. So I spoke to the point about women having it in their mind that they are to be stewards or mentors of men, right? Now, let's go into some aspects of American society, particularly on the male side, some idioms and common sayings by men that kind of reflect or show how men and women relate to each other today. Like, for instance, at a business that I used to run or own, men would frequently come in there and say things like, "Oh, I got to consult with the boss, before I do this." And, my woman's the boss, my wife's the boss. And they'd always be laughing about that. And I never got it. Like, I didn't get what was that, like, how was that funny? You know what I'm saying? Like, your woman is your boss, like, she's running you, and like, that's funny to you, bro. Like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, you's a sucker, bro. We have this saying in Jamaica that what is a joke to them is death to we. So what is a joke to you is a matter of death to me. This idea that a woman is like my boss, or like I gotta check in with her. And now I'm not talking about the consulting or that you do naturally in a relationship. They're literally talking and calling the woman his boss, and like that's not funny, bro. Like, you might as well just bend over at that point. You feel me? And I know a lot of these guys who are in these marriages, and it's weird, men bragging about their marriages. Like, that's something really for a woman to brag about, right? And I know with the way our women are socialized in this current time and environment, I'm not cut out for that at all, because I'm an autocrat. You feel me? For the most part, like, I value a woman's input very much. I respect what a woman has to say, but it's not a democracy over here. This an autocracy. I'm not a tyrant though, but you know what I mean? Like, I make the decisions. Period. My wife is my boss, and like, I don't even be want to be around dudes like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The happy wife, happy life, that sucker talk. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Because what it typically means is a man supplicating and capitulating to every whim of a woman so that the quote unquote peace is kept, right? That going along to get along. I'm telling you, 9 out of 10, when I see it with guys, when they talk like that, that's what their relationship is. And that's a prison to me. Like, I'd much rather die by myself. If that's what marriage is and that's what I got to do to say I got a wife, but I have no interest in that. You know what I mean? And it's so amazing because when I look at the way how women operate today, women stand on business way more than men today, insofar as their standards and what they want. No matter how ridiculous some of their standards might be or how delusional it is, it's the fact that they're willing to stand on that, to whatever end, right? And men don't have that anymore. Men will capitulate for most of the time is sex, the validation of the woman. It's just absolutely disgusting. And some of these things that have become normalized in American society, man, it's just, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of times, like lately, I've been thinking about how I'm gonna be making my exit from here and going to make life somewhere else because the sucker stuff has gotten so out of control, and the men of this society are just so they're just so pee-whip, man. It's just, man. I can't, more and more I'm just starting to realize I just don't fit here. I just don't fit. So we're gonna get into another video. Speaking to my point before about female interest in power and how power driven, especially the modern woman of today is. And the idea that that market is definitely not cornered by men. So we're going to get into that real quick. Let me go ahead and pull that video up. Let's see here. Yes, sir. Where we at? Just keep pumping it out. Keep pumping it out. Here we go. Let me see if I can remember this timestamp here. I think the timestamp on this video is hour and 34 minutes. Yep. 1 hour 34.
To men, the answer is the biggest no-brainer of all. Men are bigger and stronger than women. Because of this simple genetic difference, no matter what men say, in their hearts they consider you inferior. In their hearts they consider you inferior.
I forgot what author she was reading from, but if men in the society were honest, they'd say, yeah, that's true. That's true.
This belief is the greatest secret conspiracy of men. Any man who sings a different tune is either a bold-faced liar or a pea-whipped castrato. In the early 70s, John Lennon made a record with Yoko Ono called "Woman is the N-Word of the World." What they were saying in the subtext of their song was, if men could get away with it, they would buy and sell women like slaves. If men could get away with it, they would buy and sell women like slaves. You know who actually said that? Remember, I want you to understand, this book was written or published in 1998. It was published in 1998. Let me bring up something real quick.
Man, I was trying to see who the author was. Now, I do want to say something real quick about the slaves thing. I want to say that's really more so a function of European society. Like, I will concede to the idea of a man looking at a woman and, noting his physical superiority and feeling as if, what was the word that she said, that they're superior. I do think that part is universal, but this idea of that if we could, we'd buy and sell women as slaves. No. I think that's a function of that's more a function of European psychosis. Um, I no, I don't think other men on of the planet would take it to those sort of levels. No, because we respect and adore women. And I think for many people, that nuance is hard to grasp. This idea that you could look on a woman and then just from a primal aspect, say to yourself, I'm better than her. I'm superior to her. But at the same time, loving and respecting and adoring that woman and being willing to die for her. I think for a lot of people, they see those two concepts as being completely mutually exclusive. It's hard for them to wrap their minds around.
If y'all just give me a few minutes to find it, if you don't mind. Because this part of the show wasn't planned. So I got to look for this clip real quick.
Go ahead. Do your thing,
Shouldn't take me too
Princella.
long.
I like me some Princella, man.
Remember, that's 98. So I found a clip.
Let's go, Princella. Fair use, by the way.
Okay, let me pull it back. Let me get ready to switch it over so you can see. Now, I want to, before I play it again, I'm going, well, I don't know what page it was on. I don't know what page it was on. Cause I just flipped to it.
Damn, Princella.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Page 53.
Princella, dude, for how many rings Princella got on a pinky ring like she pimping, man?
Page 53. Okay. Let me turn it around. All right. In the early 70s, John Lennon made a record with Yoko Ono called Woman is the N-Word of the World. What they were saying in the subtext of their song is, if men could get away with it, they would buy and sell women like slaves.
You know what? I might have to take back that whole thing about it just being a function of European psychosis, because in Africa, it's still practiced to this day, where women are sold for property, livestock. So I think I might have to take that back, man. I think the issue that I had was the whole slavery bit. But then again, as I do a little bit more ruminating, these women who are being sold for cows and stuff like that in parts of Africa, they don't have much volition in that. So technically, could that be construed as slavery? It's something to think about. I'm going to do some research on that, because it's just, it's crazy how that thought just came to my mind. Like, do I have a bias against Europeans? Probably. And maybe that caused me to have sort of a blind spot, because yeah, in Africa to this day, they sell women for property. Something to think about.
1998.
You realize that like a 13-year-old boy will physically dominate you, right?
Negative. He could be feminine.
A 13-year-old boy that's able-bodied, he's going to fuck you up. And here's the thing. This is how I know that we live in such a civilized world. We live in such a crazy civilized world that women forget the carnage that men are capable of. And that's as a boy. This is not a grown man. So if you take women by themselves with no men, the men are going to come in, they're going to invade, and they're going to either kill you off or turn you into slaves. The only reason women are able to exist is because they have men protecting them from other men that want to conquer. You look at the military.
They keep telling you who they are, and you keep rejecting it. They keep telling you, and you keep rejecting it. If you put women alone with no men, the men are going to come either kill you off or turn you into slaves. If men could get away with it, they would buy and sell women like slaves. Why are you constantly rejecting? And here's the thing. You want to know the sad thing? The women are the ones rallying for men to do this. Women are supporting their own destruction because women fight other women for male validation, and they desire the wickedness and the brutality of a man. And they reward him sexually for it.
Man, that's heavy. Because especially the reward and sexually part, you know, that guy who women say they want, the vulnerable guy who cries in public and is tenderhearted, and you know, he reads Zane books and watches romance novels, and he attends sipping paints and all of that stuff. Women will tell you out their mouth that they love that guy, but they don't never open up their legs for him. The idea of opening up their legs for a dude like that, most of the time it repulses them. You know, a lot of times they'll marry a guy like that later down, you know, when they get up in age a little bit, and they've quote unquote had their fun. But those men don't elicit that primal, this lustful desire out of women. You know, it's the so-called chauvinists and the narcissists. And notice every woman has been with narcissists. No, yeah, you notice that nowadays every man is a narcissist, but that's what they like. That domineering, right? When a woman says, like, particularly American women, especially, they're infatuated, obsessed with, you know, height. They want a man to be taller and larger than them so they can feel small and protected, right? They want to feel that dominant energy. That's what they reward, right? So if you're a young brother, again, this is who this show is really directed to tonight. Learn how to not listen to what women say. Like, you got to condition yourself to really hear what a woman says, know the subtext and observe women's actions. What a woman, what human beings in general say really doesn't mean much of anything, but especially women. Like, start conditioning yourself to not even really care what a woman says. Like, it doesn't mean anything. I'm telling you, it don't mean nothing. Right? Because again, going back to the aspirational thing, women like to think of themselves as being these moralistic, high-minded beings. But when you look at their actions and what they reward, the men they reward, and even now, you know, forwarding up to more to modern times, it's gone even beyond just rewarding dominant men. Oftentimes in this society, you know, women reward the most depraved and most abusive of men. That's who gets them wet. You feel me? So yeah, man, don't listen to that nonsense, guys.
Sex is a reward for men. Women are voluntarily rewarding men sexually. The evil that takes place on this planet is mostly because women support it.
Damn. Damn, that's cold. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I see why I like Princella so much, man. She's a different kind of lady. You know, because men are, you know, we're not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say men are brutes, but you know, going back through history, we have been brutal to each other. And it's not just the European. The European just took it to this unimagined levels. But make no mistake, the men in China, the men in Africa, not China, Asia, men in Africa, we engaged in all sorts of brutality way before coming into contact with Europeans. Again, Europeans just took the shit to, yeah, I can't even put into words the levels they took it to. But I think Princella is partly right when she says that, what drives the behaviors oftentimes is women sort of responding favorably to it. But to be completely fair, women don't, I mean, what can women do? Like if men are, invading countries and villages and stuff like that and taking over, if you're a woman, you don't have much of any choice but to acquiesce. Now, I would say in modern times where women have much more volition, but still they choose to reward that sort of, domineering behavior. I think her point has more relevance now.
They continue to reject reality, and they continue to force men to play along in this delusional fantasy world. I'll just let that play all the way to the end.
You realize that like a 13-year-old boy will physically dominate you, right?
Negative. He could be feminine.
A 13-year-old boy that's able-bodied, he's going to fuck you up. And here's the thing, this is how I know that we live in such a civilized world. We live in such a crazy civilized world that women forget the carnage that men are capable of. And that's as a boy. This is not a grown man. So if you take women by themselves with no men, the men are going to come in, they're going to invade, and they're going to either kill you off or turn you into slaves. The only reason women are able to exist is because they have men protecting them from other men that want to conquer. You look at the military, dominantly men. Why? Because women are not suited for war. Period. You guys are not. I mean, you guys weren't really even able to enter the workforce until we gave you guys tampons. And men invented that too, by the way. So, like, a lot of the conveniences and things you enjoy, these modern conventions, were created by men to make your life easier. And if men did not create them, you guys would have a really tough time living the lives that you live now.
So,
Realize that like a
so my question to you is again, what do you want these men to do? Because you're asking for something that's illogical and irrational. Men fear other men most. Gender-specific brain activations in perceiving threat from dynamic faces and bodies. You live in a
Yeah, we gonna stop sharing Princella, man, with her little 1960s civil rights cadence and delivery. She's funny as hell, man. Y'all got to check out her podcast. Funny lady, man. But yeah, no, what she was speaking to is some real stuff. You know, just as how men are brutal and primal and all of that sort of stuff, as our counterparts, women, they react favorably to that. They like it. You know what I mean? She's right about that for the most part. Give me a second, guys. Let me see what's going on, if there's anything going on in the chat. Okay. All right. Where next to, folks? Where are we going to go next with the discussion? So we just heard from Princella there. So now getting back to the point that I was making about, some of the behaviors that get normalized in modern day society, when I was speaking about how men will say things like their wife is the boss or happy wife, happy life, and, other sort of things like that. Going into that same vein, women talking down on a man's passions, right? Or being dismissive about the things that a man does to, for recreation or to decompress, whether it be video games or doing a podcast or that sort of thing. Listen, man, if you a dude and you call yourself having a wife or a woman or anything, and you're passionate about something or you enjoy something, and she's saying, why are you doing that stupid stuff? That's stupid nonsense. And any sort of talk like that from a woman, that's a red flag, homie. That's a huge red flag. You know what I mean? So, because like a woman will demean you wanting to play video games, even though I'm not a big proponent of that too. I think, oftentimes that can become, it could become addictive, and a lot of dudes do overdo that. But if you work hard and you handle your responsibilities and what you're supposed to do, and you play a video game every now and then, and a woman is saying that oh, you like a big child. And the thing is about it too, particularly in the black community, they don't express their objections in any sort of respectful manner. It's always like the most, like they go out of their way and think of like the most demeaning, caustic way to say stuff. Oh, you playing that? Well, you a grown ass man playing these video games. You like a big ass baby. You know what I'm saying? Disrespect. Now, this is the same person who will go to the mall and just walk around looking at clothes for 5 hours, right? That's not immature. That's not a waste of time, but they'll talk down on the things that you do for recreation, playing a video game or whatever the case may be. Let's say you starting a podcast and she don't think that ain't going, or what you doing that for? And look, bro, like your woman ain't supposed to be talking to you like that at all. Anything outside of absolute fealty and deference towards you as a man, going back to what Sean Connery said, like your woman is supposed to be wrapped up into you, homie. She supposed to look at you like, damn, they're like you God, bro. Dare I say. So when a woman is talking like that about the things you enjoy doing, bro, that woman don't have no love, no real love or respect for you. My advice would be to get rid of her. But things like that are normalized. Because I know many men, and many men will tell you, like, yeah, their woman talks to them like that about things they enjoy doing. Another thing too is women shitting on your style, or they'll tell you that they'll try to dress you up. Now, I'm not saying a woman can't buy you something nice every now and then or whatever the case may be. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when a woman literally has it in her mind that she's to be your stylist. Look, bruh, I don't care if a woman is a professional stylist. For me, this is personal opinion. It's important for a man to have his own style. Like that form of expression, in my opinion, it's not just about the clothes. It's an expression about who you are, right? And even if you're not some sort of fashionista type of dude, you just want to wear white t-shirts and jeans all day. You that type of dude. That's you. That's who you are. You feel me? Don't let no woman dress you up, man. And then I've had it's one ex-girlfriend in particular who she said, oh, because one time I was wearing like this lime green Calvin Klein shirt, and I had got these brown like chucker boots, leather chucker boots, and I switched out the brown laces for some lime green laces to match the lime green Calvin Klein shirt. And she was like, oh, you doing too much, and I wouldn't have did that. And that. What? Man, I'm fly. Fuck it. What are you talking about? Man, I know I'm fly. You feel me? I know how to put an outfit together. You feel me? I don't need your opinion, mama. You feel me? Because another thing too, a lot of men don't realize, particularly married men, these women will dress you up to look like a goofy, to basically make you inviolable, on the date, not dating, because obviously if you're married, you're not dating, but to make you inviolable to other women. Put you in these goofy little outfits. Oh, babe, you look good. And you walk around looking like a pure goofy. Right? That's so that no other women, so it's sort of to make you unappealing to other women. Women play a lot of little microaggressions and little manipulative games like that. And a lot of men are not very keen to it. You know what I'm saying? So that would be another point of advice to young men and just men in general, man. Don't let no woman be dressing you up, bro. You feel me? Yeah, get that out of here, man. Now, you might think it's cynicism, but trust and believe, particularly when it comes to modern women, There's virtually nothing that a woman does that isn't calculated, bruh. Nothing. You feel me? Yeah, I know. That could be depressing if you really sit there and think about it, right? Because then you start feeling like nothing's genuine. I wouldn't go that far, but it's just how women are. They're calculated beings. It's just what they do. All right. So we addressed that. Now, here's another thing too, speaking about matrimony, right? A lot of these marriages in modern day society, these dudes be talking about they have wives, and man, there's very few men out there that have wives. There's a lot of men out there that are married, right? The hallmarks of femininity and what makes a wife: being demure, servile, acquiescent, chaste, quiet. How many American women those adjectives I just rattled off apply to? Very few. In fact, I'd venture to say that the majority of modern women would look at those sort of qualities or characteristics as being, um, weak, or being a slave, or being a punk, or whatever, right? A lot of these women, they be cursing like a sailor. They loud. They be wanting to be the life of the party, the center of attention. Like, brother, you don't have no wife, man. You don't have a wife, bro. You married a woman really trying to be a fake dude. You feel me? You don't have a wife, dude. What you have is a woman. What you have is some leased in-house vagina. That's what you don't have a wife, bro. That's not what a wife is. A wife, that's the other thing too. Modern women, um they reject a lot of conventions, right? As far as like the man being in charge, or things like that. They reject those things out of hand. They accept the traditions and the conventions that they find beneficial. Like, if you're going out on a first date, a man is supposed to fit the bill. A lot of them will even recoil at the idea of being in a 50-50 relationship, right? A man is supposed to, at the very least, carry the lion's share of the household and lifestyle expenses, right? They don't bristle at that stuff. That sort of old school mentality, oh, they love that. But the idea that they're supposed to defer to their man, or if they're out in public and they're arguing and a man says, hey, cut that off or cut that out, we'll handle that at home. The idea that they're supposed to immediately get quiet, those sort of things, they don't want nothing to do with that. So they love the traditions and the conventions that they find to be beneficial and palatable to them, but they rebuff the other things that come along with that. So yeah, you dudes, man, the thing, even the word wife, marriage, those are all old world conventions. So what I would suggest is, perhaps in modern day society, perhaps those terms possibly need to be done away with. Maybe those ideas are antiquated. Maybe it just doesn't fit in modern day society. But you can't be walking around talking about you got a wife, and your wife, be cussing, and shoot, they'll take it beyond that. They'll get the cussing at you, calling you the B word and the N word. And that ain't no wife, bro. You don't have a wife, bro. You have some in-house vagina, bro. That's what you got. Ask the average woman why you want to get married, and then wait for their answer. I guarantee you, 99% of them will say something that's completely self-serving. None of it will be about what they can do for a man, their servility to a man, their service to a man. It won't include none of that. It won't even come to their mind. It won't even cross their mind to talk about any of that. It will be all about them, what they get out of it, the status, the title, that that sort of thing. So, let me see here. Let me check the chat out right quick. See if we have anything going on in the chat. So far we're about 2 hours in, man, and I'm liking the discussion. I'm hoping this video will age well. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really wanted to approach this from a holistic and comprehensive standpoint. And, I want this to be something constructive, even though I know people will still take it that, oh, you hate women, and that's going to happen regardless. But I think so far, 2 hours in, um, I like where the discussion has gone so far. All right. So where to next? I did want to react to a Princella video, as I'd mentioned earlier, and her exasperation with women. It's hilarious. But I do think there are a couple more talking points that I wanted to touch on before we get into that video, right? Now, going back to the whole concept of being happy and happy wife, happy life. First of all, if you're a dude talking about happy wife, happy life, you're just not a man. I don't know how do I put this delicately. You're just not very. You're clueless. Let's just say that. Because for one, women are far too fickle, right? Women are far too fickle human beings to ever think you're going to satiate them insofar as happiness. See, a man who is coming to full realization of himself, it doesn't take much for us to be happy, man. Some nice cooked food, some nice clean underwear, man, got it made in the shade. A woman requires much more than that. So your happiness is much more sustainable. Young men and men out there in general, focus on your happiness. Your woman's happiness should be your happiness. That's really how it's supposed to work. Because a woman's happiness is a fleeting thing. And it's typically based on, things that don't have things that don't last, things that change, feelings and lifestyle and those sort of things. So your happiness should be paramount, right? Also, you'll hear a common saying that it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. And that just goes again to just the fickle nature of women. So how are you going to base your happiness, happy wife, happy life, the happiness of your life around a being that's that mutable, that's that inconstant? It's foolish, makes no sense. Don't do it. All right. I already spoke on, women being addicts for stimuli, and that constancy and contentment are masculine traits. Touched on that. You spoke about the whole my wife is the boss thing. I didn't touch on women using nagging, as a chisel to chip away at a man to get you to capitulate or to get in line. It's become so normalized in American society that most men, I dare say that most men in society will tell you that you're not a real man if you're not willing to suffer a woman's nonsense. That's how bad it's gotten. They've gotten nagged into capitulation. And now with the family court thing, having children is another huge cudgel that women use to keep men in line. Now the whole, the family court thing, what's the solution to that? I'm not 100% certain. I do want to say this though. It's never really about women, because the whole family, if men were as brutal as women say in modern day society, every man could literally collude to subjugate women. But that's not the case, right? We have things like child support, which I'm an advocate of, by the way, and the things like the family court that heavily favor women, right? But never forget, it's men that funded feminism and invented feminism. It was a vehicle that was meant to use to subvert society, because when you have strong males in a population, it's that much harder. That population isn't malleable like that. You can't just herd them in whatever direction you want. So similar to how in past times where men would invade a country or a village or whatever, and you got to take the men out because men by their very nature are always going to want to have autonomy and have power and those sort of things. Yes, women want power too, but they don't have the physical means or the will to really to go for power like that, right? Um, so I think that's a key point. That's one of the points that I didn't hit on that I really wanted to drive home tonight is that feminism is not, women didn't invent it. It was something invented by men in the ruling class to subjugate men outside of the ruling class. Never forget that. Women react to the ground under their feet, right? Women are never the genesis of anything. It's important to keep that in mind. So that's why you'll see in a lot of red pill and manosphere circles, a lot of them do come across as hating women because they make it all about women when it's really not. It really isn't. So I'm glad I remembered that point and touched on that. Speaking to the behaviors of women and how normalized a lot of these things have become is like the 30-year marriage. Excuse me, not the 30-year marriage, excuse me, the 30-year mortgage. Now, for your average American, pretty much every American looks at that as like, hey, that's just what it is. You get a loan from a house, excuse me, you get a loan from a bank, you take 30 years to pay it off. When 70 years ago, 80 years ago, that didn't exist. And really and truly, when you really look at it from a completely objective standpoint, the idea of a 30-year mortgage is neo-feudalism. It's completely exploitative and oppressive. But because your grandparents did it, your parents did it, your grandparents did it, and in many cases your great grandparents do it, you literally, and that's what you've grown up in, you've come to accept that as that's just what's normal. Isn't normal at all. And I draw the analogy between that and a lot of the ways that men and women interact in today's society. A lot of the things that we look at as normal isn't normal at all. It's things that is dysfunctional things that have become normalized. Okay. All right. So I think, man, I've touched on a lot of the things that I wanted to touch on. I was going to speak about women hyphenating their names in marriages as a way to be kind of defiant and rebellious towards men. That's another example of how women kind of look at men in today's society from an adversarial standpoint. Let's see. Oh, here's one that I know a lot of men will be able to co-sign, man. The fact that women never apologize. The modern woman never apologizes. They apologizes with offering you sex. Most of the times that's what they do, but to come out and say, hey, I'm sorry, I messed up, taking accountability, that's like a common complaint from men in these days and times. And it really stems from a woman's arrogance. Talk about male arrogance and male ego all the time, but you know, I want to say that women of today are even more egotistical than men. They cannot say sorry. And that goes into the whole normalized behavior thing. That sort of thing has become so normalized that we make jokes about it, and it's not funny. Now, women who grow in who grow in different cultural containers, particularly in the East, yeah, they'll absolutely say sorry, and they'll make I don't know, I forgot the word that I'm looking for here, but they'll absolutely beg their men for forgiveness, but because those societies enforces that, right? Absent of that, a woman's default setting is not to take responsibility, accountability, say sorry. They're not about that. And that's another thing that's become normalized in Western society, particularly America, that um, I'm not fond of. Wanting to compete with you, particularly in earning power, that sort of thing. Another normalized thing, right? So we're 2 hours in. Man, there's just so many directions that this conversation can take. Oh man, there's so many talking points. You know what? I'm gonna spin the block and do another show on this or in that same vein. But let's get into Miss Princella, the Queen Maker. Ooh, there's one more vid of hers one more section of the previous vid that I played that I wanted to touch on before I play the main video of hers that I wanted to review tonight. So let's go back to that video. I think the marker on that one should be the hour and 55-minute mark. Let me go here. All right, where you at, Miss Princella? That's weird. Oh, I know why it's not showing. Okay. Yeah, it's here.
April 7th.
Nope, not that one.
From Dynamic Faces and Body.
There we go. 155.
Actually what women asked for. Women asked for this. Yeah. They out here acting like they're victims, but they asked for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, who's speaking? I can't hear you.
Oh, hi, Princella. Oh my gosh. Hi.
How you doing?
My name's Jacqueline. Good. So I have a question about relationships with other women.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been following you a while, and I have definitely decentered the men in my life. I don't have any males, no male friends or any males in my life, really. But I realized with my relationships with women, they end up trying to control me a lot. And so my question is how to deal with women who are controlling as an independent woman.
Don't deal with their ass at all. Let them deal with men, because a lot of these people, here's the thing, women get in relationships with men to control them too.
Mm-hmm.
Women are power driven and they act like they're not, right? So what the thing about...
Boom. That's the only thing I needed from you, Princella. Women are power driven and act like they not. And it's so funny to see women thinking they're going to stop dating men, go to women, and it's going to be this, this paradise-like type of experience. And they run right into the same thing. Yup. Women are power driven just as much as men. So now I want to get into the main video I want to review tonight, man. Man, I'm not going to lie, I got a sadistic thrill out of this one.
April 7th.
Go ahead, back it up.
It's crazy how when I bring up my kids and Santa Claus.
Let me get rid of that. So to give some context here, there's this lady named B. Taylor, a content creator, who would kind of frequent the manosphere circles, the red pill male type of spaces, and I guess she grew disenchanted with the red pill or whatever the case may be, and men in general. So she and this lady here on the screen named Princella, they attempted to have a sort of relationship. And things went sour at a point. And Miss B. Taylor here basically went online and besmirched this lady on the screen's character, basically saying that she was a victim and that this lady groomed her into lesbian activity, you know, the typical not taking accountability sort of thing. And Miss Princella here, the queen maker, as she calls herself, basically defending her reputation. So just to give you a little bit of context before we play the video, let's get into it.
December 5th at that. Already, I'm having to send long text messages to explain something to her. December 5th. December 5th. I say, I've got to walk around way too much stuff with you. Baby, this ain't even 90 days. It's not even 90 days, y'all. From October 23rd, from the first apology that I made to her, to
I can't stop laughing, man, because I could tell that this woman just started dating women. So I could tell she don't understand women, particularly modern women, and who they are and what they do, because she's saying that she basically have to walk on eggshells. Like, that's what your typical male does in American society. You know, these women they're so puffed up and they have such a high opinion of themselves, and they think they know what they're doing because they have a job and they can basically function as an adult, right? I got a job and I pay my own bills. And all right, well, congratulations on adulthood, ma'am. Okay. What do you want? A Nobel Peace Prize for paying your bills and working a job? Like, hooray. All right. Clap it up for you. But yeah, this is what men do, Princella. Most men in marriages and relationships, that whole happy wife bit, that's what that is. That's what that is. It's just men going along to get along. I have to walk around. Wait, that's what men do, Princella. Welcome to hell.
December 5th.
You thought women were these mother goddesses and these ethereal creatures and divine goddesses and love, and nah, you learning now, ain't you? You said men are incapable of love. No, men are fully capable of love. Your typical modern woman is just not a lovable person at all. And you finding out the hard way.
Okay, I can take that, October. Maybe I did something to hurt your feelings. So I apologize. I'm trying to get to learn you. We need to learn each other. So, 1 month from September 26th to October 23rd. Let's go ahead and go to October 26th. That's 1 month. Go to November 26th. That's 2 months. And it ain't even a full 2 months because I didn't start dating her the moment I met her in person. Now go to December 5th, baby. This is not even 90 days in. I say I got to walk around way too much stuff with you. I say, number one, my position on males as a whole.
This is another thing too, man. If you a dude and you have any experience with women, you know you don't never do this, bro. And to borrow from Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power, I forgot what law specifically it says, where you never try to, what did he say? You never try to win through convincing argument. Right? You're not going to logic your way into a woman behaving or meeting you halfway. That's not how it works, Princella. You writing you number in your paragraph. Hey, she got the numbered paragraphs 1, right? And she writes this long, man. Listen, man. More than likely, that woman ain't even read none of that shit, Princella. This how I know you don't have no experience with women. She not reading that shit.
Never cease to stop projecting your connections to your sons on the overall dynamics of male relationship to the planet, which will inevitably cause random bouts of conflict at any unknown time that I may not be conscious of.
See, I'm fast forwarding. You doing too much, man. You doing way too much. But look at that paragraph, bruh. Hey, and you know what? To be fair to the other lady, B. Taylor, this is there's a paternalistic air that Princella, the Queen Maker, gives off too. Like this, going back to the whole wanting to be a mentor thing. Like you're, in a relationship with a person. This is supposed to be your mental and, an equal of some sorts. Um, you're talking to her as if this is somebody who you're life coaching, like numbered paragraphs. Like, I'm not even about to let you read that, Princella. We're gonna go forward in the video. All right.
But fifth, y'all.
Oh, some more long paragraphs.
According to her and the accusations, I'm a narcissist. I groomed her. Right? I was a predator. I'm aggressive.
Yep. Welcome to manhood, Princella. See, because you look like the way you do and you act the way you act, you got the hat. A lot of times you having the hat turned backwards. Over here, you got the suit on. You like a little fake dude or whatever. So being that you're the dude in the relationship, I know you weren't privy to this prior, Princella, but this is how it works. If you're a man, you're in a relationship with a woman, things go sour, things don't work. It is always your fault. Get it? Welcome to manhood. Yes, you groomed her, right? You groomed her into lesbian activity. Never mind a woman that's 32 years old. How exactly do you groom a 32-year-old? I don't know, but apparently Princella did. You're a predator. You're a narcissist. That's a common, that's a very recent one that women completely abuse that word, right? Any man who doesn't necessarily takes a woman crap, that's a narcissist. That's what a narcissist is these days. So yeah, Princella, you're the dude in the relationship. So you've been talking all this crap about men being incapable of love and women being these divine beings, right? Welcome to hell.
But in these messages, it shows a little something else. Because everybody only got her side. But what would make her even say a quote unquote her side? Because I didn't start anything, contrary to what people want to claim. I didn't start nothing. Everybody say I should have kept this behind the scenes, but I did. So now I keep it behind the scenes so you can create whatever narrative you want to make me the bad guy. But the reality is Princella really the bad guy? Cause that's a lot of writing to do to somebody expressing something like that if you the aggressor. I mean, so that was December 5th. What did I say to her December 6th?
Hey, hold on.
What did I say to her December 6th?
Oh my God, yo.
The very next day, I said, "It is with great disappointment that I must text this to you."
Yo, her texting is so officious. It's just so officious and grandstanding. Like, this don't even sound like you're talking to somebody you was in a relationship with. You sound like you giving a goddamn dissertation or a State of the Union address. It is with great disappointment that I'm. Hey, I'm trying to imagine myself as a man texting this to a woman. Like, Priscilla, you doing this all wrong, mama. See, you cosplaying as a dude, but you not no dude, mama. You not cut for this life, man. You feel me? See, the male sex drive, the desire for a woman's orifices, it allows us to be able to endure a lot of BS. You not cut like that. You not built like that, mama. Yeah, you could put the hat on backward and you got the pinky ring on. You not us. You feel me? Yeah, this is part of manhood, Princella. You don't never do no typing, no goddamn dissertations and what is it when you go for your PhD? I think that's called a dissertation or whatever, man. You don't never do all this typing right here. After long deliberation from last night, it is clear to me that you have a lot of work to do on yourself and you are not ready for a genuine dealing with someone. It will not matter if it is male or female because of the internal issues will wreak havoc on any connection you attempt to build. We must take responsibility for our own well-being, and I'm afraid that you are completely unaware of your effect on others. Go into that awareness thing. Yeah. So, yeah, Princella. Yeah. Your majority of women have no self-awareness. Welcome to hell. You need release, self-confidence, and self-assurance. And unfortunately, I cannot provide the things you need. Only you can provide that for yourself. You said something that really stood out to me earlier yesterday before I went live. It really let me know where you want to be. When I spoke to you about you talking to this woman about orca whales and what are you doing, Priscilla?
After long
You have
deliberation
Priscilla, you have no clue what you're doing.
from last night, it is clear to me that you have a lot of work to do on yourself and are not ready for a genuine dealing with someone. It will not matter if it is a male or female because the internal issues will wreak havoc on any connection you attempt to build. We must take responsibility for our own well-being, and I'm afraid that you are completely unaware of your effect on others. You need release, self-confidence, and self-assurance, and unfortunately, I cannot provide the things that you need. Only you can provide that for yourself. You said something that really stood out to me earlier yesterday before I went live. It really let me know where you want to be. When I spoke about the orca whales and how their codependent sons, pause, let's go to the next text.
Hey, man. Hey, this woman is sending walls of texts, man. See, this is why lesbian relationships are so volatile. Like statistically, they're the most violent relationships because there's no polarity there. You know, there's no polarity. You need a male end and a female end. Like if both people are emotional and that's a tinderbox. That's an absolute tinderbox waiting to explode. But let's finish up on let's have her read these other long ass paragraphs.
When I spoke about the orca whales and how their codependent sons are inhibiting their mother's survival, and I likened it to human females mistaking extreme codependency of their sons as love, you made a comment that let me know our relationship will not flourish. You let me know that mothers would rather accept codependency as love. Since that is the case, you could never reach the state of actual love that I'm trying to raise you to. And since you would prefer to see codependency and codependent tendencies as a form of love, you will never attempt to emotionally free yourself and be a fully stable and authentic being to allow others to coexist with you. I fear, let's go to the next one.
Damn, Princella, you got another. Come on, Princella. You got another wall of paragraphs for this woman? Princella, that woman ain't read none of that stuff, man.
I say, I fear that it will take Mason and Milo to grow up and have their own lives separate from you before you realize what changes you need to make in yourself. In your mind, you've done nothing to inhibit what could have been so blissful, pure, and flowing. I do not need anything from you. I am with you because I want to be. When you don't need anything from a person, you are not bound to accept any and everything from people that hurt you. I do not need a place to stay, so I'm not obligated to tolerate OCD pop-off tendencies. I can make sure I'm never the cause of you going off by something I did to trigger you, since you will not govern your own triggers. So I will limit my time around you. I can stay at my own place and not have to be the target of such triggers. So, I don't need to live with you, and I don't have to drive an hour to see you. That was December 6th. December 16th. So I was going back and forth with her, and she would emotionally manipulate the situation and get me to give her more grace. Because the reality is, she was sending me through emotional turmoil. She was affecting me mentally. She was causing me pain. So December 16th, 10 days later, clearly, I guess we back on a positive note. 10 days later. Good morning. This was the day, December 16th, I had my Love, Men, and Manipulation Decoded workshop. This is at 5:50 in the morning. I send her a text message. Good morning. Kissy face. She say, good morning, I'm surprised you awake. I say, yeah, I was asleep when you called. I had a massive headache. I was going to sleep. I was going to sleep it off with meds or without meds. Well, I woke up with the same headache that got worse while I slept. I just took something, but I may have to take another dose. She say, oh no, yes, take something and drink some water and get some sleep. Get yourself some coffee or tea. I say, I've got to get up soon and start prepping my board. I'm gonna take another dose. I think I'm sick of something. I don't know where this headache came from. It was a massive headache. It was a massive headache that day. My eyes was hurting and everything, and the headache would not go away. I ended up taking four Advil or something, or 2 BC powders. It was something crazy. It was something crazy because the headache was so bad. Next text message, I say, so I got to get up and prep soon to prep my board. I'm gonna take another dose. I think I'm sick of something. I don't know where this headache came from. She said, can you get up at 7? I want the meds to work faster. And I say, it doesn't want to leave, and my eyes hurt, right? So this day, I got an obligation. I got business to take care of, and I got to push through it even with this massive headache that I got, and my eyes hurting. Same morning, before my workshop, with a massive headache, with this massive headache I got, At 8 o'clock in the morning, she sent me this text message. Same day, December 16th. It's crazy how when I bring up my kids and Santa Claus, you talk about how you're not going to lie to your daughter and have her living in a fantasy world. I don't take that shit personally, although one could. Soon as I talk about me, as soon as I talk about my inference and relation, you're automatically triggered. You just say you expect the worst from me when I say things because apparently it's coming from a negative place. Y'all, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I just told you at 7 that I got a massive headache and my eyes are hurting. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, you want to talk to me about Santa Claus because you got an issue with me not allowing Amaya to believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. So I say, I never brought up anything about your kids believing in Santa until you took slight issue with me not selling Amaya on the Tooth Fairy. You can sell your kids on whatever you want to sell them on. I'm not bringing up any personal stories to explain why I feel you should do things differently in that regard. I say, I don't need you to tell me it's quote unquote ego because I won't just sell her on a complete fairy instead of allowing her to imagine her mom being a fairy, the fairy giving her the surprise. Then you bring up how you felt because of your childhood to further justify your judgment. You fail to see your judgment while claiming you ain't judging. Get the fuck out of here.
That's that lack of self-awareness, Princella. And don't think, what's her name? B. Taylor is some unique, is unique in that regard. I'm telling you, man. Talk to some men out here. We deal with this on a regular basis. I'm telling you, these women out here in modern day society, they are so self-absorbed. They are so self-absorbed and so oblivious, so lacking in self-awareness, right? Now, if I'm dating a woman, particularly if I had children, I wouldn't be telling them about any Santa Claus or anything either. But if I were dating a woman that had children, had a child or children or whatever, and she was doing that, if I believe in Santa, for example, I wouldn't be telling her that it's my ego, but that I won't, tell them about Santa and all of that sort of stuff. Like, you don't do that. Like, how a person chooses to, raise their children, that's just what it is. You just leave that alone. Like, it's none of your, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? None of your business. But again, going to that whole mentorship thing and that self-absorption, she just couldn't help but make some sort of psychological assessment about why you don't want to sell your kids on Santa. So she had to tell you that it's about ego and then talk about how great it was for her childhood, that when she, for her to believe in Santa and all of this stuff. Yeah, she was passing judgment, and she has no clue that she was passing judgment on you. She has no awareness. Welcome to manhood, Princella. Those divine mother goddesses that you're always going on about, that's them. This is typical, Princella.
Here. This is on the morning of my workshop while I got a massive headache and my eyes are hurting. And she arguing with me about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, she don't give a damn about your headache. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Welcome to manhood, Princelli. Like you could be shot, stabbed up. It's about her. Yeah.
January 1st. January 1st. It's been problems since the beginning, and everybody's saying I should have kept it offline. I did. That's the reason why everything is allowed to look the way it look now, because I did try to handle things behind the scenes. January 1st. Keep that in mind how you do. If you ever wonder why, just remember this. She was on the line doing her typical thing, stressing me out, and I hung up on clearly. And I tell her, just keep in mind how you do. If you ever wonder why, just remember this. She say, I just don't feel like arguing. Yeah, by instantly beginning to overtalk me after accusing me of overtalking you right after I gave you full respect of not interrupting you. You can have it. Then she say, because you not even listening, like you went right back to responding. It's like I'm not even being heard. I say the fuck bullshit. I am done. I'm done. January 1. If you actually understood what I said, you wouldn't even be responding that way. January 10th, 9 days later. Now, this screenshot don't mean nothing besides just the date. I'm just trying to get the date established for the next text message. January 10th, I say, I prefer not to have any serious conversations with you. From here on out, I will refrain from talking to you about spirituality, religion, and the ills of this world. I can do without all this unnecessary drama. I can do without you dominating and bulldozing conversations to shut me up. I will be expanding my social network, so I'm not leaning on you only for deep conversations. She then says, agree.
Hit her with a one-word answer. Man, again, Priscilla, you got so much to learn, man. You got to understand, going back to what I said earlier in this stream, the way our women operate in this society with men, and you're in the masculine role, right? With your hat backwards and your pinky ring, right? So you're the dude in the relationship. This is how women operate. Everything is calculated. Everything is always in they're extremely power aware. There's very little genuine interactions, right? So for her, you writing all these paragraphs and she's hitting with these one word answers is basically to demonstrate that you're way more invested in the relationship than her. That's the subtext of that, right? It's a form of manipulation. It's a form of domination. You know, a passive aggressive type of way of dominating. Right. And because you are inexperienced with women and you think that women, by virtue of just being women, are these ethereal, wonderful beings, you have a huge blind spot. You know what I mean? You're doing all this goddamn typing. You don't even realize that this woman is not taking none of that shit you're typing serious at all. It's hilarious.
She didn't say agree. So you all know what I present online. I study this. I desire these conversations even in my personal space. But one of the accusations that I heard was I supposedly was faking behind the scenes, that I really didn't believe the stuff that I was saying, that I'm a fraud. that I'm talking about that I don't really love women or care for women or nothing.
Yeah, Princess, that's how it works, man. Once you fall out, man, you know, the things that they said they loved about you, all of a sudden, you never did any of those things. It's just all bad. You're just a monster. You know, that's how it works. That's how it works, Princella. You know, it's called being a man. You wanted this. Everybody want to be a, you know, they say everybody want to be a ninja until they got to be a ninja. You wanted to be a dude until you had to be a dude.
Turn me away from seeing you. I don't have no sexual interest in you. So she was trying to use sex as a way to try to keep me attached to her.
All right, hold on, man. Let me check this chat right quick, see if anybody had anything to add, and we'll get right back into it. Let's see here. Man, I'm enjoying the hell out of this part of the show, man, because it's just hilarious to see somebody learn in real time just what's going on out here with these women. Somebody who had previously had it in their mind that men was just these horrible, lecherous beings. And now she learning. I love it. All right, so right back to it. Right back to it, people. And get right back into it. All right, here we go, guys. Get right back to it. Where you at, Priscilla? There you go.
As a way to try to keep me attached to her. Because she feel that I'm trying to separate myself from her. I say, this constant conflict eats away at my desire for any form of intimacy. It only pushes me into seclusion. This is unfair to both you and me. There's no point in iterating what the grievances or challenges are. It is your responsibility.
All these big ass collegiate words and these paragraphs. You just don't get it at all. It's hilarious to watch.
Ability to be self-aware and take responsibility for your contribution to the conflict.
Self-aware, take responsibility. Keep dreaming.
I say, I will take mine. I misjudged how much I'd have to sacrifice when choosing to take this on. I jumped too quickly with a relationship due to my desire for a deep connection I know only women can meet. Approaching this with an intent to help you elevate your thinking was the major error I made. I should not approach connections that way. By approaching a relationship this way, it has created the behavior of trying to get you to see approaching this with an intent to help you elevate your thinking was the major error I made. I should not approach relationships this way. Hold on. By approaching the relationship this way, it has created the behavior of trying to get you to see and understand things you are simply not ready for, and that is my error. I now understand that when I enter any connection, if the person is not where I am in my understanding, I am to allow them the space and communicate at their level of understanding and feeling. It is not about getting them to understand me or my point of view on anything. I'm beginning to accept that relationships are
Princella, this is something that you write in a journal, in a diary, or notes to yourself. Like at this point, you're not even talking to her. You're literally you're literally talking to yourself and sending this as a text message to this woman. Like, see, this is why relationships with women, lesbian relationships are so hilarious to me, man. Like, I I just don't take them seriously, man. It's just buffoonery, man. Hijinks. You know what I'm saying? Them old black and white sped up movies like Benny Hill is just comedy, man.
simply not meant for me in this lifetime. I am here to serve others and do it. The yelling when I've asked you multiple times that that was a childhood trigger. Why am I yelling? If I'm yelling, because I'm a real calm person in my personal life. If I'm yelling, what are you doing to me? Because I'm pleading to you to stop all this emotional abuse. Nothing is ever good enough. You popping off on me for no reason. Don't even know what's wrong with you. Nothing is right. No answer is right. You don't even want to tell me how to fix the problem. You don't want to.
Priscilla, women don't tell you like what how to fix anything. Like when they come to you with their problems, 9 out of 10 is not for you to fix it. It's just for them to just ramble, and you just sit there and be a sounding board, an emotional tampon. That's how it works, Priscilla. That's how this works, man. Oh my God, this is funny.
Solution. You tell me you don't want a solution. You tell me you don't want one. You just want me to sit there and let you abuse me with a smile on my face. You've hit things. I hit what? The steering wheel? As you sitting up here yelling at me and pouring out all this stuff and you I'm frustrated with you. Then you say, which was a trigger for me in my past abusive relationships. Why are you bringing your relationships with men over here and causing me pain? I just always had this feeling of, quote unquote, if she gets too mad, who knows what she will do. I ain't never even looked at putting my hands on you. I ain't never been in your face. It was you that told me if I didn't love you, I would have been beat your ass. And I'm like, what did I do to you? I didn't even do nothing to you for you to even say this stuff. And now you flipping it like, I always had this feeling that if she gets too mad, who knows what she will do. But I'm not doing nothing to you. You abusing me emotionally. You won't let me go. Which is why I've always tried to remain calm with you. You ain't tried to remain calm with me. All you do is cause me problems. And we'll be able to see that. We'll be able to see that. Right? What is being done to me is totally wrong. Okay. As much as you say you've apologized, I've always owned up. Let's see. It's like you're quick to snap on people and don't realize it. You have insecurities that you definitely need to work on. I couldn't even say much without you assuming the worst or being insecure about certain things. What's insecure about what? Be specific. Because at this point right here, you just flipping stuff. You just accusing me of stuff. You're flipping this because you don't want to take no accountability or responsibility after I've addressed you multiple times. And I've been trying to leave you and get away. You can see the patterns from your old relationships. Look, you. Now, remember, I took responsibility for me getting with her. Trying to have these elevated conversations, you ain't ready for that. Trying to help you evolve, you not ready for that. And I'm wrong. I shouldn't have ever, quote unquote, rescued you from the manosphere. I should have never thought that I could help you. And I should have never approached a relationship with the intent to help elevate you. That was on me. That's my bad. But here, from her is you. Never taking accountability or responsibility for nothing. Everyone is not just quote unquote sensitive, but maybe you can also address that you're insensitive with your partners. I'm insensitive. I've apologized to you when I was in the wrong, right? I have tried to listen to you. I've tried to sympathize with you. Everything I've tried to do has hit a brick wall. Nothing that I do is good enough. Nothing.
Hey, to my fellas out there, can y'all relate? Don't this sound like a dude? Tell me this don't sound like a dude. Nothing that I do is good enough. Nothing that I do works. Yeah. Welcome to hell, Princella.
She say, I really just feel like this was an entire slap to my face. The experience I've had with men, here she go, trying to manipulate me to stay, right? To try to say, well, you know, trying to compare me to men so it'll make me feel bad and keep giving her more chances. Keep allowing her to keep going further and further because she don't want me to cut this off. Because remember, this comes after me trying to separate myself. This is January 11th. All the other messages was from January 10th. So this is her trying to use a manipulative tactic to keep me here. I just really feel like this was an entire slap to my face. The experience I've had with men have never been this dramatic and unpeaceful. But I'm the one asking you for peace. And that's truly disheartening to say because I was in isolation and at peace and I haven't been like this was just not a good experience and I thought it would really change my perspective. What? This is the only long text message that she ever sent. And it comes after I done addressed her and let her know that I'm trying to separate myself from her. And as I'm trying to separate myself from her, she pulled this victim card to try to say, I ain't never had an experience like this. This was just, manipulation. You doing something to me, right? And yes, there was pressure. What pressure? Wait, what pressure you talking about? Yes, there was pressure. What pressure you talking about? And yes, there was pressure, especially with women who had hope that these type of relationships would work with other women, but it's almost the same dysfunctional shit or even more. Can't nothing work unless two people work on it. One person can't be doing all the work. So if anybody had hope that this would work, it would definitely have been me. Because I have made a conscious, concrete decision that I was going to date women. And I went in with pure intent I went in with the intentions to work with you. You not working with me at all. No accountability. This entire text message is you. How any relationship gonna work like that? It can't. And this wouldn't be so embarrassing. She concerned about what other people think. And this wouldn't be so embarrassing if we would have just kept this between us or your private group. But you got on live to dismiss Daryl only to also bring me out. So you concerned about how people look at you, and you trying to manipulate me to feel sorry for you to keep this shit behind closed doors. You do not want me to break up with you because you so scared of it not working in the public eye. You scared of how people gonna look at you if I leave you. So you brought me out the closet. And this wouldn't be so embarrassing if you wouldn't have brought me out the closet. Well, we wouldn't even be at the point of ending this if you wasn't causing me mental anguish. We wouldn't even be at the point of ending this if you wouldn't be causing me mental anguish, because I've been trying to work with you. I was trying to.
Yeah, y'all. I think I'm gonna do a part 2, man. This is hilarious, but I'm closing in on 3 hours. I like to keep my shows under 3 hours, man. So I think I'm gonna close this out with some music, and then we're gonna say good night, man. All right. I've enjoyed the live though. Funny, man. Oh, I know what I'm gonna play. My homeboy out of Chicago, man. Close it out with my brother out of Chicago, Rome. Hold on, where's this other song at? That ain't the one that I want. There we go. Matter of fact, before I do that, chat right quick. Let's see what's popping in the chat before we close out for the night. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and close it out, man. It's been fun, y'all. I'm gonna spin the block. I'm gonna try to spin the block tomorrow. You know, if not tomorrow, sometime later in the week, but I'm really gonna try to do it tomorrow, do a part 2 to this show. But you know, let's close the show out with Shorty Rome.
Police harassing a real nigga. That's just the shit that we go through. The number one coders don't squeal, nigga. That's just the shit that you don't do. And that's on my mama. And that's on my mama, nigga. The ops ain't no nothing. They ain't. And we run the hundreds, nigga. On phone now. Motherfucker thought I was playing when I say we run this 100 shit, boy. That just ain't no song, nigga. Better ask Fifth Dish who they do their daily routine on, nigga. MMG, DBC shit. Same thing, pussy. Niggas talking that street shit, come get up in these streets then. Once blood spill, no peace treaties. Hell no, can't be friends. 30 shots in this name, then get an ops 20, then keep 10. If a nigga say I ain't with the shits, then he must not know me then. On fly, don't pretend. AK like 310. Put that bitch on single shot, them chopper bullets like ink pens. Goon town, I'm linked in. Niggas tough when they drinkin'. Better headshot, make him sober up. If his ass survive, but he think then. I be bringing them drinks in, that's money, dummy, you don't know about it. If you got a problem, we can throw them hands or get them guns and we can blow about it. Foreign crews getting so louder, hella smoke whip so clouded. With your bitch, she ain't suck a dick, pull a car, oh, she getting throwed out it. These niggas they so bout it, flexing like they Master P. 50 shots that Mac with me, I paint a nigga with this masterpiece. I don't shoot no truce, nigga, I come to wear your master leader. With nobody but the strap with me, in this crib like I got master key. Real nigga since a little nigga, better yet since I been been birthed. And mama told me watch out for niggas cause they all snakes like Wentworth. My little lady on lack, nigga, that 40 up in my bitch purse. Think I'm going dead tough, nigga, act tough, better get killed first. Off red pills and blue pills, ex got me on make shit. Nigga down, got a two-sprung, shorty start talking about relationships. Every day I move boo, Louis on me feeling too cool. Smoke a dope, you can catch me running fruit dudes in a fruit too. But I don't need my gas with me, cause by myself I shoot too. Plus I'm armed in, I'm alarmed, then I'm waiting for a nigga to snooze too. Chopper on me like Rambo, remember old days had a deuce. Lost a pen, put a stick in it, think it didn't work, I shoot you. Kill a nigga, I ain't for none, I ain't never been no goof too. If the law catch you while I'm in the act, go shoot it out like 2-2. Lot of niggas say they know me, boy, brain dead, nigga, who you? People ain't who they say they is, lying about their life like new. CPD say we animals, and 10-5 be the zoo too. 223s, mini 14s, got shit that's big like Bruce. Being a bitch, I refuse to, and I don't rock with no new dudes. Ones on me, them new shoes, pants triple stitching, them new true.
Gang shit, man. Y'all wait up, man. Fuck Wentworth Ma. Better stop giving you bitch ass niggas clout too, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, y'all. That'll do it for tonight, man. Shorty Rome. I like how he I feel like he underrated out of Chicago, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been fun, guys. I'm gonna try to spin the block tomorrow, man. Y'all stay up. Back juice if